we go to Florida.
Yeah.
In the aftermath that was Hurricane Helene and the devastation that was left in its wake,
He ain't lying.
once again, Florida prepares for another storm, aka Hurricane Milton.
How about no?
But according to Kamala Harris, she says that Governor Ron DeSantis is politicizing the situation by not calling her.
And it is selfish, and it is about political gamesmanship.
Ron, your thoughts?
It's an honor to be joined by men and not faggot-ass, cornhole-and cocksuckers.
Thank you, Ron. I'm Jazz Berganzo on this. See, Kamala, you picked a fight with a real man, one who's going to fight back, unlike your husband who's just going to bend over and grab both ankles. But it's what's next. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Jazz Berganzo. What's next? Your daily dose, common sense, facts, and salt. Hope you guys are feeling good today on this Wednesday. Well, let's just get right to it. In the aftermath that was Hurricane Helene and the devastation that left in its wake, millions of people without power, food, water, people are missing, people have lost their lives trying to save others. And of course, that wonderful relief from the government, a whopping $750. Well, if you thought that was bad enough, here comes Hurricane Milton. He says, hold my beer. Heading towards Florida, this was as of last night, heading towards the Gulf Coast. And of course, Florida prepared for it. Why? Because they've been there, done that. So Governor Ron DeSantis, the great Governor of Ron DeSantis of the great state of Florida, comes out and does what he does best. He prepares. He prepares strategy. He has his people in place, to do what needs to be done to protect his people in regards to a number of hurricanes that hit over the last 4 to 5 years. But between Helene and Milton, these two are probably the most two devastating since Katrina. But according to Vice President Kamala Harris, yes, Willie Brown's side piece, she says, Ron's politicizing this because, Ron, you didn't call me. Why didn't you call me? Well, Ron's answer is, I don't have to call you for shit. So you. This coming from Breitbart. DeSantis puts Kamala on full blast for Hurricane Milton comments. She has no role in this process, aka fuck off. But before we hear from Governor Ron, a little background. Monday, during an appearance on FNC's Hannity, Fox News, Governor Ron DeSantis excoriated Vice President Kamala Harris for injecting herself into state storm preparation as a Category 5 Hurricane Milton approaches the Sunshine State. This was as of last night. DeSantis was reacting to comments from Harris, who called Florida's governor selfish to reporters. Kamala Harris is trying to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish and delusional, he said. She has no role in this. None. The fact that she's been vice president for 3.5 years have dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. Again, none. So what I think is selfish, trying to blunder into this, know this, and here's the thing. She has no role. None. She has no role in the process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in contact with the FEMA director. I'm obviously managing a lower state agencies. We're supporting our local government, and I will say this. I had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I worked well with the both of them. Well, if you ask Joe, he probably forgot. Quote, she's the first who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing this just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly. Desperation. And she's playing these political games. I don't have time for these political games. I've got people whose lives are on the line. I've got people whose homes and their possessions are on the line. We are focused 100% on that mission. I'm not worried about playing her political games. She's being selfish or trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine. But comments from Governor Ron.
Make no mistake, Hurricane Helene is Kamala's Katrina. Joining us now, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis is with us on the latest on preparation. All right, I saw the statement from your office. Number one, you did not hear about a call from Kamala. You would have taken the call, you said. I had you on my radio and TV show before Helene hit. You told me, and I had Governor Kemp on, and he told me, in your case, you had 30,000 utility trucks staged to go in right after the hurricane. You had food, water, medicine, supplies ready to go right in behind the hurricane, as usual.
But DeSantis doesn't know what he's doing. Of course not. He's being selfish.
No, you're right. And Hurricane Helene was a Category 4 storm. It did significant damage to the state of Florida. We've been on this footing now for 2 weeks straight in terms of preparation response. And now we have an even bigger storm that's bearing down, as you pointed out, in a very populated area, potentially could do even more damage. And we've been laser focused on leveraging all resources available, including
this
from
was
the
as of
federal
last
government.
night.
And I've been in touch with both FEMA and the president, as well as marshaling all our state agencies and working to support our local communities. And so for Kamala Harris to try to say that my sole focus on the people of Florida is somehow selfish is delusional. She has no role in this. In fact, she's been vice president for 3.5 years. I've dealt with a number of storms under this administration. She has never contributed anything to any of these efforts. And so what
Except
I think
bullshit.
is selfish
Has she ever
is her
called
trying
Be honest.
to blunder into this. No, and here's
Has
the
she ever
thing.
called before?
She has no role. No, she has no role in this process. I'm in contact with the President of the United States. I'm in contact with FEMA director. I'm obviously managing all our state agencies. We're supporting all our local government. And I will say this. I've had storms under both President Trump and President Biden, and I've worked well with both of them. She's the first one who's trying to politicize the storm, and she's doing that just because of her campaign. She's trying to get some type of an edge. She knows she's doing poorly, and so she's playing these political games. I don't have time for political games. I've got peoples whose lives are on the line. I've got peoples whose homes and their possessions are on the line, and we are focused 100%
Preach.
on that mission. I'm not
Preach,
worried
brother, preach.
about playing her political games, and so she is being selfish by trying to blunder into this when we're working just fine.
And those are what they call facts. My thoughts. I said on a video last night that I uploaded to TikTok that Kamala Harris is worthless. She's a worthless hag. She is. She's an empty vessel. She's a clown and should be treated as such. So, if your campaign's doing fine, and you're ahead, and you're feeling good about yourself, why not say, hey, you know what, Governor Ron, he's done a fantastic job in Florida. As we know, a second storm is coming, and we know he will do the right thing for him and his people in Florida. That's what you say. But when you're behind, as she is, desperation sets in. The stench of it is thick. And that's exactly what she's doing. So she runs around and goes on Howard Stern, goes on The View, goes on Stephen Colbert, shows that no one gives two fucks about. And no one's going to fucking watch. Except, the Karens and the cul-de-sacs. Those are the ones who are watching. So she has to inject herself. She has to shoehorn her way in to a situation she knows nothing about. Zero, nada, zilch. So Governor Ron says, you know what? I don't need to call you. I don't have to call you for shit. I call the president. I call FEMA director. That's it. That's who I got to, that's all I have to do. And take care of my people. Why? Because I've been there and done that. So, this is what you have when you have a pathetic clown like Kamala Harris. Willie Brown's side piece, who's got nothing better to do but to open her mouth and shove both legs down her throat. And Governor Ron put her in her place. As a man should. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like this? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys never miss a thing. Continue spreading the word about the show. Appreciate you guys watching. And we'll see you next time. Peace.